This week for Down the Line with Charlie and Bo, we are at the Elmwood Park Zoo, and we have a ton of surprises coming up on the show, so stay tuned. Down the Line is brought to you in part by the Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board. Visit Montgomery County's main streets. Find out more at makeitmainstreet.com.
They're not just familiar faces. They're your friends and neighbors. It's their small businesses, a beating heart that makes a neighborhood a home, where personality is served on a plate and imagination paints a brighter world. A place where fresh is always in stock with a personal touch passed down through generations. Support small and make a big difference. Make it local. Make it Main Street. Make it Montco.
Welcome into Down the Line with Charlie and Bo, and as you can see, today we are at the Elmwood Park Zoo, and we have a couple special guests. We'll get to the animals later because they're very special, but first we have CEO of the zoo, and that is Al Zone. Al, thank you for joining us.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, awesome,
at
yes.
the zoo here.
And then also we have Kamal Gray, keyboardist for The Roots.
Right here. What's up? How y'all doing?
So guys, you have a very special relationship, and there's obviously a reason that you guys are together on the show. Can you guys tell us about that?
Can I start?
Feel free.
So I'm born and raised in Norristown. Came here as a child to visit the zoo. I used to have a golf course locally, and when I heard that they were closing the zoo in 2011, it was important for me, for Norristown, to keep the zoo alive. We're 97 years old this year, so anybody who knows Norristown knows of the Elmwood Park Zoo or knows of the Norristown Zoo. We're in the best county in the state here in Montgomery County. So I started reaching out to board members and donors, and a good friend of mine, one of our board members, got me connected with Kamal, and I think the rest was history. Kamal brings his family to the zoo all the time and helps spread the word. And you know, with him and his night job with what he does in New York, you know, really helps drive a lot of attention to the zoo and keep Elmwood Park Zoo one of the strongest zoos in the country.
The kids are running around crazy in the house. I'm like, oh man, I got to get them to do something. Let's go to the zoo real quick.
The last 10 or so years now, you guys have been with Jimmy Fallon. So how does that work, bringing the kids to the zoo, but then everything you do with Fallon?
Well, you know, it's a lot of scheduling work, you know, but I've kind of found that, you know, just easier for me to get home back and forth to New York. You know, I get up, I act like a regular dad and take the kids to school, get them dressed, help in the morning, and then I go to work. And then I come home, I help get the kids into bed.
You are a huge fan of the Phillies.
I am, absolutely. Yeah, you know, I learned a lot about the game, and as I learned about the game, you know, I kind of found that I fit into the game a little bit, you know, with just my personality.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I started seeing how these guys interact with each other and how they talk and shoot the crap, and you know, and they say certain things in their terminologies and their lingos, I'm like, that's me. Like I that probably was a calling that I didn't really key in on when I was younger, you know, and I wish I did, but you know, me being able to give it to my kids is something that I find really amazing. And I mean, who gets to just bring their kids around these kind of guys, and then they can ask them questions, and it's just not right.
Hey, Bo, Jimmy Rollins.
Oh, Jimmy, him and Jimmy get along.
Acts like Jimmy,
Yeah,
talks
he
like
does.
Jimmy,
Yeah,
throws
he's
his
got-
hands
he's
like
got
Jimmy.
Jimmy's personality.
Yeah, he does.
My question
I mean,
to you
seriously.
is, growing up, and obviously the hip hop, who did you emulate? Who did you want to do this from the time you were young?
Well, it's funny, you know, I did when I was very, very young. You know, as early as I can remember, music was instilled in me by my father. One of the things I vividly remember was always hearing Bob Marley first thing in the morning every single day. Bob Marley and Stevie Wonder, and you know, and lots of jazz guys, Thelonious Monk, McCoy Tyner, Horace. So like all these different, you know, genres of music were kind of just put put there for me to kind of take in. And, you know, I had this heavy affinity for music and sports. So I was always trying to find my way to sports. I feel like all musicians want to be athletes and all athletes want to be musicians.
Jimmy.
Yeah, that's it exactly.
They kind of correlate.
exactly.
You think about it. What are your guys' favorite musicians? He says you guys are some of his favorite baseball. What about musicians? What do you guys like?
I'm gonna date myself right now. I was all into Motown. Come on, I mean Diana Ross, The Temptations, Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. We walk into a clubhouse now and they're playing stuff. I'm going, wow, it's different.
Tapping
It's
the-
different. Yeah.
It is, and you know what? And I look at myself like probably how your parent might have looked at you, or you know, I looked at my kids. Like, I'm like, how do you listen to that? Like, I just don't, you know. But what I do understand as a musician is that it's the you know, it evolves all the time,
Yeah, it does.
and so
I love music, any kind of music.
Yeah.
And George Thorogood is my he's my favorite because
Rock on.
some of the songs that he sings, especially "Drink Alone" and "Bad to the Bone," and that's good walking and talking music and things like that. But in our clubhouse, we used to in Cleveland, especially for about 2 or 3 years, we played "This Is How We Do It," and then
Music's a
then-
big anthem in the clubhouse.
and then we used to sing "Pumps and the Bumps."
oh wow.
And one day I walked through the cage there when talking about Ron Howard and Jimmy and them, and I was singing "Put Some D's on These Bitch," and they told me on there something, and they told me, said, "You don't even know what you say," and they were right. You know, like I was trying to mock
But
them.
you sounded
really.
cool.
Yeah, I was trying to mock them.
You know what's amazing is he reverted back to when they played in Cleveland. There's a
Yeah.
song you always remember.
Yeah.
And in '80 when we won the World Series, it was "Ain't No Stopping Us Now."
Yeah, right, yeah.
And
I
every
love it. I can
time,
sing
man,
it,
every
yeah.
time you take the field, or now
Right.
when I hear it,
Right.
your mind goes back to say, "Man, I remember that song because
Yeah.
they played it
Yeah.
every single day." You know, you're going for a pennant.
I think music now is not as timeless as it used to be. Like, so a lot of these songs that we're hearing these kids listen to now, they won't be 30 years, 40 years, 50
Or a
years
year
down the
from
line.
now. I say
Or a year from
Yeah,
now.
you're right.
It won't hold the same weight. You know,
Exactly.
you get a song maybe once a year,
Right.
but during that time, man, every single song, like, you know, we're still passing it on to our kids. You
Right.
know, my kids know all
That's
these
that's
songs.
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, I know everybody you
said.
said.
There's a lot of kids now, they've made music so easy to make that my 7-year-old boy over there over COVID, I gave him an iPad and put these things on there, and you can make, anybody
He
can
was
make,
jamming, huh? He was jamming.
anybody can make music now. Yeah, I'm like, man, I worked so hard to, you know, to learn how to play
Right.
the keyboards, you know, and you guys come up and you go boom, 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 and you sold 1 million records. And I'm like, man, you know how many hours it took me in a studio to make this one song, and it takes you 5 minutes to go like that and it's done?
Well, guys, we'll keep these conversations coming when we come back, but we also have a very special guest caller to join the show. Stay tuned.
Yo! What's up, big homie? What's going on with you?
Man, chilling, man. Chasing these kids around, man. How's everything going?
Same here, bro. Chasing kids around. Where you at these days?
Actually, right now I'm up in Philly. We're just up here kind of hanging out, visiting the in-laws and whatnot.
Okay.
And, yeah, head back down to old Georgia.
Oh, that's where
To the house.
that's
yeah.
where you done migrated down here to stay?
Yeah, man,
Georgia?
That's where we migrated.
Really?
That's where we migrated, man.
Bro, look, ain't this unbelievable? I'm with these dudes, man.
Look at this. Look, the trouble over here.
Yeah.
What's going on, bro?
Hey, we're just trying to get by right now, Howie. Trust me. I saw you at the ballpark the other day with your family. That was cool. And you know what? He opened up a restaurant now. Talk a little bit about that.
Wait, you got a restaurant?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. Over out in Mount Holly, man. It's called Colby's Southern Kiss Chicken, man. It's, you gotta get out there, go check it out, bro. Like, all different chicken sandwiches, all kind of stuff, man. It's so good, man.
In Jersey though?
Out in Jersey.
Well, he'll probably branch out.
We need one here in Philly now.
Oh, we're trying to work one over this way, man. We're trying to work one.
Hey, look, man, I ain't going to Jersey, bro. But I want some chicken though.
Hey, not only did he hit bombs, now he's an entrepreneur. He's
Yeah,
doing a
man.
lot of stuff, man.
Like, dude, that's the way you're supposed to do though. He got books and all kind of stuff, man. This dude don't play around. He keeps it moving.
Hey, man, gotta stay busy, man. Gotta stay busy. When I'm not chasing these kids, man, I'm trying to make ends meet, man, just like everybody else. So make it all happen.
Hey,
Hey,
Rhino,
did anybody
I
tell
want-
you you're rich?
I know this.
Your ends been met. You just having fun now. We ain't meeting no ends. We just having fun now.
Hey, Rhino, I'm gonna tell some stories about you here in a few minutes. So,
Keep them good.
all right, I will.
Well,
Hey.
I'm digging in the crates.
Hey,
Actually, I had a story from when I first got called up, and Bo was manager. And Bo, you might remember this story when it was me, Marlon Bird, Lou Collier, and who else was it? I forget who else was with us, but Jimmy. It was Jimmy. We had just gone to Montreal. I had just gotten called up, and we got into Montreal late that night. And Jimmy was like, "Hey man, I'm gonna take you guys out."
No kidding.
Oh,
Imagine
boy.
that.
Oh boy.
Hey, we get to the hotel. It's like 10:30, 11 o'clock or whatever. Jimmy, you know Jimmy, Bo.
Oh,
He's like, hey,
yep.
you guys meet me downstairs in about 15 minutes or whatever. So me, Marlon, and Lou get to the hotel. We're punctual. We're on time. We get downstairs, and Jimmy takes like 30 minutes to get there. And Lou says, "Man, I don't like hanging out in the lobby because you never know who's gonna come walking through." As soon as he says that, the entire coaching staff,
Right.
bars, everybody come walking through.
I do remember that.
And we were like, "Oh man." Marlon looked at me and he said, "You guys didn't say anything." Marlon looked at me. He said, "Watch, we're gonna be in there tomorrow." We were. I had the best 0 for 4 I'd ever had. 2 balls. I was like, I need to make something happen. I hit 2 balls to the wall, flew out twice. It was, oh man.
That's a great story. That's a true story.
Hey, dude, ain't it crazy, man? Full circle moments, right?
Both of these cats gonna have you in stitches over there, man.
yeah.
Already, man. First of all, this dude right here, I never even seen him smile till today.
Hey, no pressure now, Howie. No
He
pressure.
lay smiling and laughing. He having a good old time.
We don't care if we win
Well,
or lose now.
I met Charlie on a plane a few weeks back. You know, we coming back from Disney World with the kids, and I told him this story, you know, about Larry being over at the baseball academy training my son, and I said how you two guys hang out together? Cause y'all totally opposites. I said this dude Charlie loves to talk. And Larry, unless he know you, he ain't really trying to have a whole lot of conversation. You know what I'm saying? He's like, quiet as can be. It's the most I heard him talk, laugh. I mean, I'm enjoying this, bro.
It's the yin and the yang, man.
Yeah.
This my,
Yin and the yang, man.
this is my new friend now, buddy. Hey, this is my homie now. Look.
Hey, Howie, you know why it's a new game?
Balance, man.
I see guys getting doubles at second, and they're hugging guys. The opposite teams are hugging them at second base, man.
Look, I just was in. I was at a little league game the other day, and a kid hit a home run from the other team, and it put my little guy's team down. And we had a parent on the team. Good home run, kid. Come home. And I said to him, what's up with the pom-poms, bro? I said, you a cheerleader now? He said, it's Little League. I said, I don't care what it is. We're losing. We need to win the game. I said, put your pom-poms away and get over it. You know how it is, man.
I know one thing Charlie would have said if he was there, he'd have been like, "Hey, that's how you're supposed to hit that ball, son."
Yeah, it was. He did. He got every last bit of that ball too. And I was like, you know, inside I'm thinking like, oh man, geez, he did. He got a hold of that real good. But I was like, I talked to him after the game.
Hey, before I go, I want to ask you, you tell D I'm pulling for him and to hit him hard, man.
Oh man, will do, always.
All right.
No, I appreciate that.
Hey, we'll see you when you come back up here, man.
All right, yeah, I gotta get you guys out to the restaurants.
Yeah.
Yeah, get me a sandwich.
We'll get you some grilled chicken out there as well.
There we go, brother. Absolutely, man.
Thank you, Rhino.
It's good seeing you, man. Let's get together, man. Hit me, you got my number, man. If you can come in town, man, hit me up. Let's get together.
Yes, sir, indeed. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Y'all have fun.
Thanks, Howie.
All right, now, easy, bro.
All right.
It was great to hear from Ryan Howard. Charlie, I feel like you have more stories that you were keeping from us.
I used to call Rhino the rhinoceros. And one night, he told me, he said, Chuck, I don't like that nickname. and I go, well, then what do you want me to call you? And he walks away, and he had just got through hitting like a 3-run home run that won a game for us. And I said, okay, I'll call you the Big Piece. How does that sound?
So wait, that's how he got the name the Big Piece? 'Cause I knew you named him the Big Piece, but
that's how he got the nickname, the Big Piece. I said, okay, I'll call you the Big Piece then.
All right.
That's awesome. But then, yeah, you still called him Rhino today. But it was appropriate because we're at the Elmwood too.
Right.
Well, we'll get to that later. We'll talk more on it. But we'll be back with more from the Elmwood Park Zoo.
They're not just familiar faces, they're your friends and neighbors. It's their small businesses, a beating heart that makes a neighborhood a home, where personality is served on a plate and imagination paints a brighter world. A place where fresh is always in stock with a personal touch passed down through generations. Support small and make a big difference. Make it local. Make it Main Street. Make it Montco.
Welcome back into Down the Line. Guys, normally we're used to the Philly fanatic, and I guess we can consider him an animal, right? He's an animal.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I would.
No, we know and love. Yes. But today, we're going to see some other familiar animals that we see around the city.
Yeah.
So Laura, what do we have first?
All right, so we are going to meet my friend Pesto. We're going to let him come on out into our area here. Now, he's an animal you probably wouldn't want to get super close to upon first looks. However, he is very, very friendly and often likes to come out and hang out with guests here at the zoo as an ambassador. So he's gonna check you guys out today. He's gonna sniff around. He might be a little intimidated because we've got a nice big crowd. I've got some snacks and a little target stick. We're gonna see if he wants to come out and say hi.
Yeah, he's like, is that a
Morning,
toy?
Pesto. So we've got some
she is
stinky
looking.
stuff kind of pressed around here. Skunks have an amazing sense of smell.
So what do they eat?
So in the wild, they're gonna eat things like different fruits and vegetables, but primarily they eat a lot of bugs and small animals like different types of mice and things like that. So they're actually really beneficial to have around. They help control pest populations for free. Now, we don't really appreciate them that much because of that stinky smell, but they don't go around running around spraying everybody. They're gonna use that as protection and defense if they need to. And in Pesto's case, he does not have his scent glands anymore, so he is not a threat to us. But mostly we try to work with him so that he's nice and comfortable and feels confident when he comes out to meet people in the zoo. If they do feel threatened, they'll often give you some warnings before they actually do spray. Good job, buddy. One of those warnings is going to be stomping their feet, and they can actually do a handstand and kind of wave that tail in the air as they like, hey buddy, watch out.
No.
So they give you plenty of warning before they actually spray. And that spray, they have to make it in their body, so it's not something they want to just throw out there.
Yeah, you're right. He's going after like an apple or something.
Yeah.
He's like, he said, I'll eat this one green.
Yeah, he's gonna take those lemons the last resort.
All right, so this is Stella.
Stella.
Stella is a great horned owl. She's one of our ambassador owls.
Listen to that sound.
And she happens to be Temple University's live mascot. So she has a really special job here at the zoo. Now, like most of us, she's had the last year off, so we have to kind of get her worked back into meeting people again. So one of the things we've been doing on program is having guests tongue feed her. Now, she does have a sharp hooked beak and those super sharp claws, so we have to be careful. But Stella really likes snacks. That's one of her favorite pastimes is to eat. So we can make that kind of a guest experience using some tongs. So Jordan's gonna show you guys what that looks like, and then you can come up and offer some food yourself. So you're just gonna hold on to those tongs nice and tight. She is eating little bits of mice today, so not quite what you'd wanna have for lunch, but she enjoys it.
Nice. Whoa.
And you just wanna kind of hold it up towards her face, and she'll see it and lean in. So whoever wants to try first can come on up.
So do you guys try to mimic as close as you can what they would eat in the wild?
We do, yeah.
Ooh,
and
that's
when it
furry,
comes
man.
to birds,
That's a furry chunk.
good girl, Stella. When it comes to raptors, they are hunters, they're predators. So she's going to eat little mice, little animals like snakes and frogs, even other birds.
All right, here, Stella.
Her eyes are beautiful.
Girl. Yeah, as
They're
an owl,
huge.
she has humongous eyes.
Yeah.
There's no way she'll fly away or anything.
So Stella does not fly very well. Now when she's out on program, she does wear special equipment to keep her safe, but she is not super good at flying, which is why she lives with us. So Stella actually came to us because somebody took her out of the wild and raised her, and she never learned how to be a wild owl.
Come on, you can
Here,
do it.
here, Cash. Squeeze it right there at the top, right there. Squeeze it tight.
All right,
and give
ready?
it right to her.
Good girl.
Well, awesome. Nice to meet you, famous
Yeah.
Stella.
Good job, girl.
Have a
No,
good
she
rest
got her
of the
neck
day.
turned all the way around.
Yeah, Reggie's being a little rude back there. She's checking it
Yeah,
out.
Reggie wants to meet us. He knows there's some Philly legends here.
He's very ready.
He's been knocking like, let me out. Let's go, Reggie.
Oh, wow.
Oh, big boy.
Two-stepping.
Hey, Reg.
So Reggie's missing part of his wing. Unfortunately, he was hit by a vehicle when he was pretty young, and that's why he ended up here at the zoo. All of our bald eagles that live here at Elmwood Park Zoo are rescues, and they're non-releasable. So in that case, we do have a lot of animals that come to us after they can't be sent back into the wild. So he can't fly, but he still gets around pretty well on his own. And he's very good at demonstrating what eagles do best, and that is to hunt and to rip and tear food. So you can see he's got a super sharp beak and those really big claws. Those claws are super powerful as well. You can see I've got my super fashionable glove on just
You
in
can take your
case.
finger.
Oh, man, I bet those claws.
Laura, so you were saying how Stella goes around and does appearances. What about your eagles? Do they do eagles appearances?
They do. So we have two ambassador eagles. Reggie's our younger and newer of the two. We have Noah, who is 20 years old, and this would have been, I believe, his 6th season with the Eagles football team. So we started training Reggie back in 2019 to do the same thing. So we go to home games, we go to training camp, different events with the Eagles team, and then of course they meet lots of fans here in the zoo. Naturally, in the wild, eagles would be hunting, they'd be tearing up their prey. He doesn't always get that opportunity in the same way, so we give him boxes and things to shred.
Oh, he's stuck in his nail.
Because he really likes to practice those natural behaviors. Are you done?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look at him hopping.
Good job, buddy.
Hey, I got a question for him. How far can an eagle see?
So it's estimated that they can see pretty clearly about a mile away. They actually have 2 focal points in their eyes, so they can look far into the distance, and they can also see off to the side, very fine detail and movement. So that's why their vision's so much better than ours, is their eyes are just built differently.
Pretty good.
Well, you guys, we saw some cool animals, but we're gonna be able to get close to another one right after this.
Like, you got some lettuce?
What do they eat?
Lettuce?
We're here at the giraffe exhibit at the Elmwood Park Zoo, and these guys are one of the coolest things they have. Kamal, you were here, you told us when you were walking in, when this place was being built.
Yeah, when they were building the enclosures for them, and right when the guys got here, I was one of the first people to be able to come in and get a sneak peek and, you know, feed them the lettuce and all of that, and you know, it's been a good thing. I used to ship them in and out of here, you know, over the seasons, but now they finally gave them their own place to be able to go in during the winter, so they didn't have to keep sending them back and forth.
The guy told us that they actually, when they go in during the winter, they turn on TVs for them.
Yeah, keep
and they
them
actually watch
occupied.
the TV. You
Yeah.
guys think it's any Philly stuff?
I
Think
hope
they wanna
hope they watch some reruns of a Philly game or
Now,
something.
don't watch right now. You might get a little angry,
Might
a little
get them all
aggressive.
jittered up.
Yeah.
But I think we need more lettuce so we can feed them. They're not interested in us anymore.
Hey, that's what they treat me like Larry treat me.
Yeah, tell them that story.
See,
That's an inside joke.
an inside joke, but
We were at a
hey, but
baseball-
hey, look,
We were at a baseball academy, and Kamal was in there with his son, and I'm throwing the ball against the wall, and he's probably looking at me going, "Look at this guy, man, right
it's
here."
2 of us back there. It's me and it's Larry, and I'm against the wall.
And I'm throwing
And
over.
he's throwing the ball over my head, having a catch. And I was like, man, this dude is throwing the ball over my head. I know he sees me standing here. I know he's doing it on purpose.
I wasn't doing it on purpose.
He didn't even see me standing there.
I was locked in.
He was
man.
locked in. He was like, I'm getting my arm warmed up, and it's just like them. He ain't paying me no mind right now. All he's worrying about is the ball going against the wall.
That's hilarious.
Look at you. Are you hungry?
Maybe if you brought like your keyboard or something out there,
yeah.
just like played, maybe he would have gotten
might
the
get
hint.
Yeah. Come here, I got you
Well, what
over
do you
here.
guys say that we go and see some other kinds of animals?
That sounds good.
That sounds
Yeah,
good.
Let's go check something else
It's
out.
exciting.
Here you go.
He said, "Thank you very much, Charlie Manuel."
Your nose is very, you got a lot of,
like I do.
yep, and it keeps it moving. He's done. He's like, I had enough of y'all.
Well, that's it for this week at the Elmwood Park Zoo. Guys, what was your favorite part about today? We saw so much.
Mine was the eagle.
The eagle?
Yeah, the eagle was pretty impressive to me. And now when I watch the Eagle games and I see the eagle, I'm
I know him. Charlie?
Eagle, but I've always liked eagles. I've always liked birds, and also too our guest. We had a
Yes.
tremendous guest.
I
Had
was
a
gonna
good
say that
time
is
listening
mine.
to him.
Yeah, he was.
And he's definitely got a lot of Jimmy Rollins in him.
Yeah.
We'll have to have him on. You can play some instruments.
Oh,
But
that'd be cool.
for today, that's all we have for you. For Charlie, Larry, and Kamal, I'm Sam Wilson, and we'll catch you down the line.
Down the Line is brought to you in part by the Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board. Visit Montgomery County's main streets. Find out more at makeitmainstreet.com.